Tout d'abord, permettez-moi de vous souhaiter, Monsieur le Premier ministre, Mesdames les ministres et Messieurs les ministres, et Monsieur le Haut-Commissaire, je vous remercie de m'avoir invité ce soir pour faire une présentation. Je vais peut-être continuer en anglais, puisque la question a été aussi adressée en anglais, et aussi parce que la documentation que j'ai reçue de Grèce m'est venue en anglais. Donc, au lieu de traduire moi-même, j'aurais préféré continuer en anglais. First of all, I thank you for the question, but as you know, I'm not the specialist on the subject, as I'm a public servant just in charge at the embassy here, just arrived. It's a very interesting project. I myself noticed these 2 days the progress, which is a very enhancing project for the future, and there's no future without these problems to be tackled very quickly. I will not go deeper in this one, but I can tell you why, through the Greek experience, we believe that the future is on these aspects of the society which we have all to face. First of all, we have to think that Greece, having been confronted with a severe economic crisis over the past 9 years, combined with the challenging migration and refugee crisis, Greece is strongly committed to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The 8 Greek national priorities of the SDGs encompass all 17 SDGs and reflect in a balanced and integrated manner the 3 dimensions of sustainable development. Ensuring that no one is left behind is a high political priority for Greece. The first Sustainable Development Strategy of Greece dates back to 2002. In 2018, the country adopted a truly strategic approach, ensuring political ownership at the highest political level by endorsing a twofold whole of government and whole of society approach, which provides for an active operational interministerial coordination network steered by the General Secretariat of the government and a strong stakeholder engagement in the stock-taking process so as to enhance transparency, partnership, and accountability. In July 2018, a year ago, Greece presented for the first time its voluntary national review at the UN High-Level Political Forum, the process leading to the elaboration of a 4-year national implementation plan for the SDGs in 2019 is in progress. This national implementation plan is expected to be aligned with the provisions of the National Strategy for Sustainable and Fair Growth 2030. Engaging all stakeholders at all stages, as well as fostering the active involvement of the Hellenic Parliament in the overall follow-up and review process of the SDGs implementation. The General Secretariat of the government, through the Interministerial Coordination Network of the SDGs, and in cooperation with the National Statistical Authority, has finalized a list of around 160 indicators for the quantitative monitoring of progress. The national growth strategies' overarching goals are fully interlinked with the 8 national priorities of the SDGs set by Greece and include the reduction of unemployment and restoring conditions for full employment, the reversal of the trend of an aging and declining population, the reversal of the brain drain trend, the active policy for attracting investments and improving the business environment, the reduction of social and regional inequalities, and the ecological redesign of the economy by promoting circular economy model. On the social pillar, and with a particular outlook to regional cohesion, policy priorities have been focusing on addressing urgent gaps related to unemployment, particularly for youth and women, to respond to the pressing humanitarian needs of the large refugee flows, to address social inequalities and promoting inclusion of immigrants, and to show solidarity in the midst of a challenging social and economic context. These priorities have been implemented through a robust social security system. Specific examples which shows measures that have been taken in order to ensure that no one is left behind, addressing poverty and social exclusion, are the following. The National Action Plan on Youth Guarantee, which is a program co-financed by the EU Youth Employment Initiative, and the main challenge is the young person's smooth transition from school to employment and halting the brain drain. And of course, to employment promotion, acquisition of work experience, apprenticeship, and support for entrepreneurship. In the current social and economic climate, self-employment and entrepreneurship are highly important alternatives to salaried work. Social Solidarity Income. It is a welfare program addressed to households living in extreme poverty and complementary to the policies to combat poverty and social exclusion. In order to be eligible of the program, households must simultaneously meet all income, assets, and residency conditions laid by the law of 2016. As far as residence is concerned, homeless people are also taken into consideration with another law in 2017, which has a 720 million euros established distribution for almost all households at risk of poverty and or social exclusion. 3.4 million people approximately are touched in this sector, based on income or other criteria. Free access to the public health system and healthcare for uninsured citizens. With an adoption of the law 2016, free access to the public health system is allowed for the uninsured citizens and vulnerable social groups. Achieving gender equality. This action plan, which is aligned with the main priorities of the European Union and the United Nations of Gender Equality, sets for the period 2016-2020 a number of strategic objectives which include fostering social inclusion and equal treatment of women facing multiple discrimination, combating violence against women in family, in the workplace, and in society, supporting women's participation in the labor market, promoting of equal opportunities in education, media, culture, and sports, eliminating of gender inequalities in health, and enhancing equal participation of women in decision-making positions. It is worth mentioning that the policies and actions of the General Secretariat of Gender Equality have been recognized on a European and international level, with both the EU and the UN selecting them as national best practices. Achieving the integration of refugee children to the Greek education system. We have introductory classes in Greek and English language, and others for small children also. Accommodation centers can be refugee preschool education operating within the centers. Access of students with disabilities and or special educational needs to the available education material, software, and infrastructure. Greece regards the 2030 Agenda and the SDGs as an ambitious and transformative framework, which can promote for the transition to a new fair and sustainable development path, ensuring that no one is left behind. Greece's objective is to benefit from the opportunity that SDGs provide in order to revisit the country's overall development perspectives through SDGs lens, aiming at boosting the economy, stimulating decent employment, strengthening social protection and inclusion, and protecting the environment and natural capital. I thank you for the time. As you know, nobody could come from Greece due to the elections. We had elections last Sunday, and the new government is already sworn since Monday. So we had a very quick transition, and that shows that how quick things are going today.
But thank you so much for this position.